It's not just about working hard. It's about choosing the right vehicle. Today, I'm discussing why, if you have certain goals in your life, choosing the right vehicle for you to get there. And we're going to talk about business specifically today. What path can you go down in business, in your professional life, to get where you want to go in your life, right? I think I've really struggled with finding the vehicle, right? I'm great at working hard and hustling and selling, doing all that, right? But I have a massive vision for my life. And I've begun to realize recently that I'm not in the right vehicle to get me to where I want to go in life, right? There are only so many paths you can go down to reach the pinnacle of success in business, right? When you think about the guys who are the most successful people in the world right now, there are a few different options for how you can get to that point, right? There's finance, multiple paths you can go down, hedge fund, private equity, whatever it may be. That's one path. You can build a software company, right? Like a behemoth, like Google, Meta, Microsoft Software and Tech. I'll combine those two together. And then there's a few guys in the retail industry as well. There's Bernard Arnault. There's Ortega from Zara, right? So those are pretty much the only paths you can go down, right? The retail is much more rare to get super successful. So I'd say tech, software, and finance. Those are really the paths that you can go down, right? And working as someone, as a freelancer, kind of doing my agency services, I realized that that's never going to get me to where I want to go, right? You can't build a marketing agency big enough to get to that point. It just doesn't happen. Okay, you can make 8 figures. You may even get close to 9 figures, right? Very rare, unlikely, but it could happen. Like Gary Vaynerchuk, for example, with his company. But it's not going to get me to where I want to go in life. So right now, what I'm thinking of is the marketing agency is a vehicle for me to stack cash with. Right? I want to create the agency to facilitate my future goals, right? And right now it's all about deciding which path do you want to go down, right? I do like the private equity path. Obviously software is super attractive to me, but I heard some great advice recently from someone that said, whatever everyone is doing right now, don't do that, right? And everyone right now is trying to build a software company because it's the hot thing. And for good reason. I understand why people want to build software companies. That's where investment capital is going right now. Software companies are, becoming the most highly funded companies right now, receiving a ton of investment. I saw a company yesterday. It was called Shop Circle. Shop Circle is a SaaS company for people who use Shopify, who are in e-commerce. It's kind of like an all-in-one platform. I forgot exactly what it was, but all-in-one sort of platform. And they received $120 million in funding, right? I get it. I get why software is hot. It is one of the best business models. It produces recurring revenue. Right? People are paying on a monthly basis to use your software. So I understand why it's so hot, but everyone's doing it. And guess what? You're not great in that space if you haven't been in there for a while, right? If it's being talked about so much, you're already too late. That's a lesson I learned, right? Bitcoin started getting talked about a whole lot more when it was already too late. It was the people who got in right at the beginning when it wasn't being talked about that much who won, right? And that's why right now I'm trying to figure out what is the next opportunity. And it's not even AI, right? AI is going to be super important, but AI is already being talked about so much. Okay, so it's finding the next thing the thing that's up and coming right now, and it might have to do something with AI because AI is so powerful and things are going to spring out of that left and right. But it's finding what is that next opportunity that I can catch on early, catch wind of early, and let that propel me to the upper echelons of society, right? It's all about timing. As much as it's about, working hard and, having a great idea and all this stuff, it's about having the idea at the right time, right? Amazon had the right idea at the right time. All right, they started selling books online, and then they just started selling consumer goods online. They were like Walmart online version. And I know, reading stuff about Bezos, how much Walmart influenced him, right? He literally took the business practices of Sam Walton and Walmart, packaged them, moved them online, and look where he is today. One of the most successful people on the planet financially. And that is a result of timing. He got in right place, right time. I'm trying to figure out, and it's so hard. That's the thing. It's so hard to figure out, like, what is the thing that, is kind of, coming up slowly that people aren't all jumping on right away that I can capitalize on. Finding that opportunity, that's what's going to create the next generations of the next generation of Bezoses, of Warren Buffett's, of Gates, of Zuckerberg. The next people to get that successful in their lives are going to create something life-changing, right? There's a few fields other than, like I discussed, like biotech. People who are going to come up with cures to the major diseases and a ton of new advances in medical knowledge, they will be the next most successful people. They will be. I have no doubt that the people that we are going to find so many medical breakthroughs in the next decade, and everyone who creates those kind of things, creates the companies that facilitates those breakthroughs, they are going to really hit it big. The thing is, it's such a high risk game that they're playing, right? There are a ton of biotech companies trying to come up with solutions to diseases, who are trying to come up with, all these things that are going to improve the quality of our lives. It's a very highly competitive industry. And it's the guy who stumbles upon the new innovation, who cracks the code, who's going to be successful, right? So I'm trying to figure out, what is it that I can do? There's certain markets and professions that have already proven to make people so successful. That's why private equity is very attractive to me. There's a lot of private equity billionaires, but innovating in that space is going to be very important, right? A lot of people are doing the same thing in that space. I looked at a guy recently, Orlando Bravo, and I recommend all these guys' names that I'm saying, you write them down and look into them, because they're very important people who are shaping our society. Orlando Bravo started his private equity business and decided to only invest in software companies because he saw how unbelievably, profitable and, how great of a business model software was, right? I mean, software is a recurring revenue stream. Sure, you dump a lot of money initially to build up the software company, but after that, it just becomes a cash producing asset. You're just making money on a recurring basis. So he just did that and specialized in that, became the best in that space, right? He combined the software world with the financial world, melded them together, created a baby, and that's why he's so successful. So doing something similar, right? Not copying him, but doing something similar and putting my own spin on private equity, on investing with tech and software, because those are the two vehicles that are going to continue to be dominant and figuring out how to do that in my own unique way. That is the process that I'm going through right now. And it's hard. And it's a lot of research and a lot of trial and error and a lot of overthinking on my end and a lot of, really trying to just come up with the next groundbreaking solution. And that's a very hard task to take on, but I'm ready for the challenge and I'm willing to take it on. So I want to thank you for watching today's video. I want you to start thinking about the bigger picture vision of what you want and what vehicle you're going to take to get there, right? If you want to be one of the most successful people on the planet, there's certain vehicles that just won't take you there, right? And it's, for me personally, you guys are all going to have your own vision and aspirations for your life. For me, it's not just about money. It really isn't. Money is the vehicle to give you power and influence. And I see a lot of bad things happening in this world. And I know a gentleman who is very successful, who invests his money in causes that I disagree with, and which I think are a net negative for the world. And I want to do the opposite. I want to invest in the things that I think are positive for the world, right? And we both have our own ideologies of what we think is good for the world. But I want to be able to do that and have that kind of influence. And that can only happen with a substantial amount of money. So that's what I want. But you need to decide what you want. If you want to become a billionaire, it's not going to be through a marketing agency. Sure, you can do that temporarily to make some side money, to build up some cash, just like I'm really trying to do right now. But long term, that should just be a stepping stone. That should just be the initial money. And then after that, you start figuring out, okay, what is it that I really want? And what is the vehicle that's going to get me there? No matter what you want in your life, there's certain vehicles that won't get you there. Certain businesses that you just can't scale to astronomical levels. So sit on that tonight, really think about it. Think about what you're doing right now and think about the time that you could be spending becoming great at the thing that's going to get you to where you want to go, right? You can work and do stuff that, isn't connected to the bigger picture vehicle and goal, but you need to be learning in the meantime about the thing that you want, right? And become obsessed with it. And in your spare time, that's all you do. You just learn about the thing. Right now, I'm learning all about private equity and the buyout business, right? That's all I'm learning about. I'm working on the marketing agency at the same time, but that's the bigger goal. That's the field I want to be in. And I want to be exceptional at it. Therefore, I have to put an exceptional amount of time, energy, and effort into it. So look, I want to thank you for watching today's video. If you want to learn more about me, you can click the link in my description. Check out my site, agency. You can check out my Instagram as well. And yeah, I'm really grateful for you being here today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.